It's a great day for baseball.
The Nats have a chance to win a series in decisive fashion. Today, they've beaten Houston 2 of the first 3. Welcome to Nationals Park. We're covering the bases with Danny Espinosa today, and why not? He's exciting, he plays great defense, and he's made a pretty good impact on this ball club so far. Bob Carpenter, Ray Knight, and a chance to take a series with the Braves and the Phillies yet to come in on this homestand. But Danny isn't making contact all the time these days. When he does, he's making a big-time contribution.
Well, he's got a tremendously quick bat, Bob, and he has not been able to make contact, especially left-handed, as much as I even think that he thought. But he is he's produced 11 runs, 13 RBIs, 5 home runs. Sometimes you just strike that batting average and look at the slugging percentage and what he's produced, and he has been very productive.
Lest we forget, a year and a half ago he was still in college, and here he is making plays like this in the major league.
Well, you mentioned the other night 2 of the best plays that we've seen all year long. That's one of them, and then swing the bat extremely well last night, tripling early in the game to score the first run, and coming back and hitting the home run to put the ball club ahead for good. And just a quick bat, left-handed, right down through the ball, right-handed, very similar. Seems like he's getting a little better balls to hit right-handed. Today, we'll get to see him left-handed.
13 RBIs in his first 19 Major League games. That's a pretty good start to a career. Ross Detweiler's career has been a little slow to get started. He was drafted just about 3 years ago, and some time in the Major Leagues early, wasn't here at all in 08, and he still only won one Major League game.
Yeah, but I like everything he brings to the table. He's got a live fastball. He throws the ball right on the top. The ball comes out of his hand well. His velocity 90-91, but it looks like it's 93 or 94. Real good slider, and working on that changeup.
So it's Detweiler taking the mound today, just 24 years of age. He's still a youngster as well. Career ERA of 4.42. He's making his 18th start of his career. He's never seen the Astros, and they've never seen him. Game 4, right now. Think possible. And by Hager. Established 1926, your own great moment starts at Hager.com. Beautiful day for a ball game. Some clouds have rolled in, giving us a little shade at Nationals Park, where Washington's trying to win its 65th game of the year. Houston has won 73, and the Nats are trying to win to even the season series at 8. 4-4 between these two ball clubs. Intercoastal strain announced less than an hour ago, keeping Ryan Zimmerman out today. Adam Dunn thought he would play today, but that left elbow contusion has him out. First time neither of them has started a game since the last game of last season, October 4th at Atlanta, and that was the only other time they have not been in there, both of them, for a Nationals game. Here's the Houston lineup. They're hitting .248, only Pittsburgh lower in the league. Jason Michaels has had a good series. 4 hits, a home run, 2 RBIs. He's batting .250. And the Astros have Hunter Pence back in there. He got hurt on Tuesday, so good to see him back in the lineup and healthy. Carlos Lee, their cleanup man, and then a whole bunch of kids. Astros have been very good the second half of the season. They'll face Ross Detweiler for the first time. He's pitched only 19 innings this year. Given up 13 runs, but only 5 of them are earned, so the defense hasn't been stellar behind him.
PNC Bank for the Achievers and Saul. Lucky 7. 7 big league starts dating back to September the 17th, 2009. In those 7 starts, .260 earned run average. Shooting star. Bob talked about how slow he's actually developed. It hasn't been because of his pitching. He was very solid with a 5.4, 2.27 in his rehab. He was 4-2 in Syracuse in 08. It's been mainly because of the injury with his hip. Let's win 2. He's had 17 starts, been in 22 games, only 1 win in those 17 starts. We're looking for that second one today, Bob.
And the defense behind him. It'll be good to have speedsters in the outfield like Maxwell and Bernadina, Michael Morse in right field, Ian Desmond, Danny Espinosa up the middle. It's Alberto Gonzalez at the corner, left side with Adam Kennedy, and Wilson Ramos behind the plate. Makeshift defense with Zimmerman and Dunn both out, but Gonzalez and Kennedy very capable veterans with the glove. Behind the plate, balls and strikes, 10-year veteran Paul Nart. Brian Gorman, the crew chief, Ted Barrett, Tony Randazzo on the bases. Jason Bourgeois for the Astros. 4 hits, 4 stolen bases in the series. First pitch is in there, and we're underway at 4:37 Eastern. Skies are suddenly cloudy, 92 degrees. It's a September sizzler in our nation's capital. Looked like a changeup, 1-1.
It'll be interesting how many of those changeups that Ross throws his day, as he has been basically a fastball, slider ball pitcher. Good fastball, late movement, nice life. Slider breaks down and across.
That one's going to break right out to center field. And every time Bourgeois has been on base in this series, he has been a pain for the Nats. That's his 5th base hit. He's a definite running threat. 4 stolen bases in this series. He's been caught once. He's 10 of 14 on the year. And Jeff Keppinger steps in.
And he hasn't stayed at first base very long when he's gotten over there.
Keppinger started the series pretty well, but he's 0 for his last 6. Experienced number 2 hitter. Line drive base hit guy. One final in the National League today. A game of little significance except for Albert Pujols hitting 2 home runs, and he now has 41. St. Louis won 9-2 at Pittsburgh. In the American League, Toronto shut out Seattle 1-0. Everything else later. He's going. Good jump. Low pitch. Ramos a bullet right into the runner. And he gets all tied up with Danny Espinosa, so he couldn't advance. That'll be stolen base number 5 in this series, and number 11 for Bourgeois.
He goes on first move. Slide step actually gets the ball there a little quicker to Ramos, but low throw. Didn't have him anyway. Had no chance. Got a really good running start, and he's already hitting the ground as the ball's hitting the ground. And kid, he's taking over for Bourne and stealing bases just about at the same rate as our league leader.
That's right. Michael Bourne leads the National League with 52. Keppinger with that batting stance doesn't look like a guy who could hit the ball to the right side of the infield. We'll see how Detweiler pitches him. They're going to jam him here. He will drive it to center. That's extremely well hit. Maxwell cannot get it. Down he goes. The ball's at the wall beyond the 402 mark. Houston leads 1-0. Not sure Justin knew how hard that ball was hit off the bat. Right over the top of him.
First ball that I've seen misread. We looked right up, saw the ball from high above the stadium, and he starts back but never really hits a full run. His first two steps are critically important. You need to brake just like a sprinter on those first couple of steps, and he did not, and he was just about 5 or 6 inches short. Look at it one more time. As he extends, didn't quite get there. Ball just over his outstretched glove. I don't know if they thought that Keppinger could hit the ball that hard on the line. But again, the toughest ball to judge is that ball right at you. And that ball just had a lot of carry on it.
Keppinger only 5 homers this year, but that was his 56th RBI. Hunter Pence is next, and he's driven in 85.
And you know how we talked yesterday, Bob, about with that runner on second base, not giving yourself up and going ahead and driving the ball. Keppinger, a good right field hitter, but he had that attitude. I'm going to hit this ball hard somewhere and try to get him to third that way. Hit the ball hard to center field and got the job done, and actually got him an RBI.
That ball is in front of the runner, so no advancement. Desmond looks Keppinger back and throws out Pence for the first out. Next up will be Detweiler against Carlos Lee.
And another thought, when you're at the 3-hole in your lineup, that's supposed to be your best hitter. You have a runner in scoring position. Your thought is to drive that run in. You don't want to give yourself up. There's nobody else better than you on the ball club. So you go ahead and drive that run in. He did not go to right field, didn't get the ball squarely on his bat. But he wasn't even thinking about going to right field.
Good fastball evens the count. Nats have kept Carlos Lee quiet in the series relatively. 3 for 12. Came to town with 86 RBIs, still has that many, 22 of those against left-handed pitchers.
Very good pitch, pinching him inside to try to knock him off the plate.
You and I like the inside fastball, don't we?
We do. We do. And, you know, anybody knows anything about setting a hitter up knows you have to throw the ball inside and establish that part of the plate first. And then that pitch out there just looks like it was so much farther away from him. Carlos Lee is a guy that's very difficult to set up. We've talked about him this whole series and what type of hitter he is. Has power, doesn't strike out much. Power to all fields.
3-1, he got him off the end of the bat. Can anybody catch it? Desmond over the shoulder grab.
I'm telling you.
Nicely done.
These young kids, they're doing it. They're doing it defensively. That what, Bob? 40, 50 feet. He goes out there a good
easy.
15 yards easily. Running straight away, making a Willie Mays type catch.
Actually slowed down. He got out there
with
so
ease,
fast.
with ease. And from up here, I thought the ball was in all the way. I did not pick Desmond up. I was looking at Roger. I knew Roger wasn't going to get there. And he may have gotten there diving, but Desmond measured that ball and made a great play.
Well, if we're covering the bases with Espinosa, the two of them are covering the field. It's amazing the range of these kids. Jason Michaels, 4 for 8, homer, 2 RBIs in this series. And a fastball tails away.
Johnson has, Jason Michaels has shown nothing but pull, and he's hit the fastball extremely well. And you look at Desmond, he is in the hole, on the grass, all your infielders deep, and this is where you're just thinking, knock the ball down. You can't let the ball get through the infield.
And Michaels will hack one high in the air. Bernadina pulls it down. And Danny Espinosa hanging out with Debbie Taylor over by the Navy Yard just east of the ballpark. More on Danny all day.
No matter if you have a good game or bad game, it takes nothing to hustle. It takes nothing to play hard, because that's the way the game's supposed to be played.
Baseball family, mom and dad and their star in between with the USA ball cap on. Brother, 2 sisters, great-looking kids, great-looking family. And we know that Danny was brought up the right way in this game, the way he approaches his job every day.
No doubt about it.
Now, what's he going to do this time, Ray? You just about called it last night.
Well, he's working on getting better balls to hit left-handed. They're calling that ball, and he says to me, seemingly every at-bat, they're throwing the ball away from him. It seems up, it seems off the plate, and he's 0-1. And then he chases his next pitch because he feels a little anxious. There it is, same thing. But he told me today that he hoped that they would throw him a first-pitch ball so he could settle in a little bit. It's very difficult to hit behind in the count all the time. And he, as much as anybody,
former Met Nelson Figueroa, 18-13 career, 2-4 in 10 games, 7 starts against the Nats. Most of that with New York. He drops one down and away and gets the strikeout. Washington had to make a change in its lineup. First of all, we were told earlier this afternoon Adam Dunn wouldn't be in there. And then after he was, they took out Zimmerman from the cleanup spot. So that bumped Michael Morse up to 4th. Bernadina was going to hit 5th. Ramos up to 6th. Maxwell up to 7th. And then Alberto Gonzalez reinserted into the lineup to play third base in Bad A's. So here's Adam Kennedy. And Figueroa getting that fastball away call so far from Paul Nart. Houston Ball Club on the road, 32-42. Nats at home, 37-37. Figueroa is 36 years of age, from Brooklyn. Astros defensively 8th in the league. Jason Bourgeois can go get him in center. Jason Michaels and Hunter Pence flanking him. Angel Sanchez, Jeff Keppinger the middle. Chris Johnson, Carlos Lee the corners. Humberto Quintero back behind the plate. 0-2. Figueroa has pitched once against the Nats this year in relief for the Mets April 8th. Nationals got him for a run on 3 walks in 2 innings. That's a swing and a foul by Kennedy. That was here in a Washington 6-5 win. And then 6 days later in New York, in a 14-7 Mets win, he pitched 3 1/3 in relief, a run on 2 hits. Kennedy will pull it right side to Lee. A momentary bobble. Figueroa there to cover it. 2 outs.
PNC Bank report. PNC Bank for the achiever in us all. Go figure. 10 seasons plus 5 wins is what he has this year, more than he ever has had in the big leagues. Big difference. Right-handed hitters only 194. Left-handers 303. Flip-flop. 12 games in relief for the Phillies before he came over here. Was a starter with the Mets. Bullpen some in the Mets. Started here as a reliever. Now has started 7 straight games after moving to the Astros. His only complete game victory was against the Astros last year, talking about flip-flops, with the Mets.
Well, you mentioned 10 years in the big leagues, but his service time coming into this year was only 3 years and 2 days. So he has seldom been able to stick around for an entire major league season.
Now, he has been up and down more than the stock market in the last 2 or 3 years.
0-2 to Desmond, hitting third, which he hardly ever does. Don't know why he took it. It was close enough, but Paul Nart called it ball 1. I know Ray Knight wouldn't have taken that pitch.
No, and the reason that I wouldn't is just you just can't take those called third strikes. We've talked about that now for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and you have a lot of these players that are questioning third strikes. Here is a breaking ball that misses on the inside part of the plate. The pitch prior to that was a strike. But as a hitter, you have 2 strikes to work with. You look for a ball that you know that you can drive. Your best pitch, your favorite pitch. Say you put the ball out there on a tee. And then when you get 2 strikes, you just have to protect.
Which Desmond does with a pop-up right field line. Getting there and making the play is Jeff Keppinger. Nats go in order. Houston got a run from Keppinger's bat and lead 1-0. Second, Astros on top. A man of 2 positions on our Luna double. Get your second room of flooring free at 877-241-LUNA. Perfect at second base. 1 error at short. And obviously you can see that shortstop is a little more challenging at times. That is stabbed by Kennedy, playing way off the line. Good scouting by the Nats and good execution by a sure-handed veteran, Adam Kennedy.
Well, that's a heck of a defense on the field today. You wonder where might the offense come from, but you have excellent fielders on the corners. That's a play that you don't see made that often from a first baseman, but that's a second baseman, formerly a shortstop, drafted as a shortstop with the Cardinals, moved to second base shortly after he got there with Tony La Russa, then traded to California, played with the Angels.
And if I know Adam Dunn the way I think I know Adam, he just told somebody, I hope I can get back in the lineup after that.
Yeah, Wally Pipp.
I remember one night in Atlanta when he had a really good defensive game and went 0 for 4. He told me after the game, it's a good thing my glove's keeping me in the big leagues. Here's Angel Sanchez, a young shortstop. That's way inside and it hits him.
Ross trying to go inside and just gets a little far in there. Sanchez, one of those little punch and Judy hitters that stands right on top of the plate and just tries to fight the ball over the infield.
One-on-one out for the number 8 hitter, Humberto Quintero. .30-year-old right-handed hitting catcher from Venezuela. Started his career with San Diego after signing with the White Sox at the age of 16. And they traded him to Houston for a pitcher who would become a Nat down the road, Tim Redding. Tried to pull that outside pitch. Gonzalez to second. The turn, and they got them both. 5-4-3. Gonzalez, Espinosa, and Kennedy. That kid has some quick hands on the pivot. Good play by Gonzalez to start it. Espinosa, fantastic. Have to score a lot of runs to win games when you play like this.
Well, this is not an easy play. He gets the ball up in his around his belly button area, but look how quickly he gets rid of this ball, and right on time. Espinosa on the bag, keeping the runner away from him. Now you're going to see how the runner gets right into him, but doesn't yield, gets up. He got something to throw with too, boy.
Yeah, that's a sidearm throw with plenty of mustard on it. Bottom of the second, Morse, Bernadina, and Ramos for the Nats, down by a run.
Well, you saw no flinch in him. You remember when we used to watch Lopez turn that double play and he would kind of move, flinch toward the outfield as he would be moving away from first base? And even when we were in Cincinnati prior to coming to the Nationals, Tim Foley worked with him, trying to get him to stay in there more. But if the runner was right on top of him, he didn't stay there. He had a tendency to give a little bit. There's Timmy Foley, one of the finest instructors and baseball men in this game.
Looks like Adam's got a copy of the game notes.
Yeah, Adam.
Keeping up on the stats, trying to outguess the announcers. Good luck, big boy.
You know, another thing Adam would have said on that ball that Kennedy, somebody would have said, hey, man, could you have had that ball? And he'd have said, no way. I'd have been breaking the first base.
Michael Morse down the line and right. It's heading close to the bullpen. It's into the bullpen.
How about that?
And Big Mike has number 13. His 36th RBI ties the game. He came into that at bat hitting .355 in the last 4 weeks.
Well, guess where he gets it? He goes away with the pitch. That's a mistake. You better not let this big man extend those strong arms. And just perfectly square on the barrel. Drove that ball a long way to right field. That was well over that barrier.
Well, there's only been a handful of right-handed batters to put one in the bullpen out there. Wilmy Avis, of course, was the first to do it. Here's Bernadina. And Roger takes a big hack and fouls it back 0-2.
Well, you can't throw him away. You just can't do it. Not a fastball. Breaking balls maybe working down to the ground, but strong human being right there.
Figueroa's given up 9 homers this year in 75-plus innings. Bernadina's hit 10. And the Nats have hit their 141st home run.
And that raises that 194 batting average up a little bit against right-handers. He's been so good against right-handed hitters.
Bernadina spots a breaking ball, lays off.
Mainly because he has a very average fastball at 90. But he has a real good breaking ball. And you saw the changeup that he threw to Espinosa to strike him out in the first.
Bernadina, this is going to be close. He'll beat it easily at first base.
Not even close.
I know. You get it past the pitcher. He's going to get there, and the Nats have 2 consecutive hits.
Roger just making contact and flying out of that batter's box. The big hop is what made it for him, because he got the ball deep enough in the back of the infield that Keppinger had to go so far, and then going away from first base could not get anything on it. But that kicked him flat.
By the way, Ray, did you notice he was choked up on 2 strikes?
I like it.
His hands are about an inch up that bat handle. And now Wilson Ramos steps in. Looked like he had a right field idea there in this series. The young catcher, 1 for 4.
You know, Bob, I was thinking last night, you and I had talked some after the game about how our team has hitting streaks, but I just going back over my career, and dead fastball hitter, hit the ball really good my first year in A-ball. Double-A hit the ball really good, got hit in the face by a pitch, missed the second half of that season. Came back the next year to Double-A, and they started throwing me breaking balls. And I adjusted and ended up going up to AAA. And the breaking balls were so much better there as far as locating that I ended up hitting 224 and then 226, 2 years in AAA, because they stopped throwing me the fastball. And I had to go to Mexico, where they throw nothing but breaking balls, in order to learn how to hit the breaking ball. And so it took me 3 years, about 1,200 at bats, even though I was an excellent fastball hitter. They just quit throwing it to me. And I started to struggle, and then when you start to struggle hitting 220, gosh, you know, even the fastball starts giving you trouble because you're up there trying and thinking so many things. So these young hitters don't have that many plate appearances in the upper AAA and big league level, and they're going to get better and better as they learn the strike zone and learn how to handle that breaking ball.
Serious damage. Now, when you went to Mexico, did they call you Ray Noche?
They call me Ray Anai. Yeah, the Mazatlan Venados.
Venados.
Yeah, which is, Venados is Spanish for deer. Not a bad place to play. Tough league, 17-hour train rides.
No fastballs.
No fastballs. Nothing over the top. Sidearm, underhand, submarine.
That ball scorched up the middle, base hit Ramos. Bernadina will stop as Bourgeois covers it, and Wilson Ramos has his 9th hit in 32 at-bats as a Washington National. He's now hitting .281 with our ball club. 3 consecutive hits.
Well, Roger has got such great speed, and this is not a negative, but the outfielder is a right-handed throwing outfielder, and watch what he does. He's going to go so hard to his right, and Roger's going to come into play. He is going so far hard to his right, it is so difficult for him to right himself and throw back the other way. So that's another thing that you can learn. Nobody out. You don't want to make the first out at third. Good decision, but one of those deals just one step shy of being able to get to third because of the acute angle that the outfielder had for the ball.
So the Nats are getting to Figueroa here in the 2nd inning. Justin Maxwell, 1 for 6 with an RBI, 2 walks against Houston. Tied ball game. Lead runs at second base, nobody out. Gonzalez next, then the pitcher. So you're not looking for a bunt here. You'd like to see big, strong Justin Maxwell get a ball he can drive.
Yeah, and the reason you're not looking for a bunt is because you're deep in the order, and this is your best chance to drive in a run. Your 7-hole hitter generally is better than your 8-hole hitter, but then you have your pitcher.
Little tapper left side. Justin's really going to have to hurry, and he won't get there. That's a 5-4-3.
It happens.
Astros turn their 127th. Braves are here for the weekend. Purchase your Sunday family fun pack. It includes a seat, hot dog, chips, and a soda, starting at just $14 for Sunday's game. Nationals.com/kids to purchase your family fun pack tickets. Third base now, 2 outs for Bernadina. It'll be up to contact man Alberto Gonzalez to get the Nats on top. And he'll go up hacking and fly it to Hunter Pence. Inning ended in a hurry after the 3 consecutive hits. But Michael Morse has taken Houston deep twice, hasn't pulled either of them. This one into the bullpen. His 13th 1-1 game. On to the 3rd we go.
With Danny Espinosa. This game is tied at 1 as we move to the top of the 3rd inning. Now, Danny Espinosa shows a lot of heart and hustle out on the field. So where does that come from?
I think that just comes from my dad bringing me up the way I'm supposed to play the game, and some of my coaches, told me that's how you always play the game, and I've learned from a young age that you play hard and you show everybody how the game's supposed to be played the right way.
Well, we've definitely seen a lot of that so far. He truly appreciates the support of his family. His dad, Dan, his mom, Vicky, his brother, Brandon, his sisters, Christina and Catherine. And he told me, you know what? When I struggle, they hurt. When I'm happy, they're happy.
And Figueroa just over the glove of Espinoza. Danny timed his leap pretty well, just couldn't quite get it. And Nelson Figueroa has his third base hit of the year.
Well, Danny does time his leap right at the top. See him right there at the apex of his jump. Ball just...
Pretty good hang time there.
Yeah, he stayed up there a little bit. They didn't doctor that video?
I didn't see any cables coming out of his belt.
He did. That's a little Michael Jordan hang time.
Top of the order now, Jason Bourgeois. So each ball club with 3 hits now. And Bourgeois has another one. And that is a double play. Unbelievable from Desmond. Going away from first base, the arm strength to pick off the runner. That looked like a sure base hit. Then he turns it into 2 outs.
Hey, partner, I didn't mean to step on you there, but what an exciting play this is. That is an athletic play. We've just seen why everybody that is a Washington National fan or even a baseball fan should be excited about these young players. I mean, they're making plays that all-stars make. And that is a tough play. And to make that throw that accurately with something on it,
wow.
I'm going to have to come up with something. I know we've got to come up with some type of Jerry, what's his last name? Jerry Coleman. He always put hang a star on that one.
Yeah.
We got to figure something to. Any of you fans have suggestions? Instead of just great player, my goodness, or oh my.
Or as the announcers say these days, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
3-0 now. Detweiler shouldn't walk somebody after getting that kind of support, but he does. He walks Jeff Keppinger, and that's his first walk. Here's the statement from Ted Lerner on Stan Kasten, respecting his decision. The Nats evidently will continue to communicate with Stan for advice at times. Remaining a friend, a valued partner. Well said by Ted Lerner on the announcement today that Stan Kasten will leave the Nationals at the end of the season. Pence grounded out to short first time. One and one to Pence. Third inning. Nationals have turned 2 outstanding double plays. Kennedy plays in front of the bag while holding Keppinger. And he'll take a step over and face the hitter. Interesting defense that years ago I first saw employed by Bobby Valentine with the Mets, where he would take his first baseman and play him almost directly in front of the runner, and in some cases directly in the runner's line of sight toward home plate.
Yeah, and a little bit later on, Jim Leland did that with Kevin Young, who had tremendous range at first base.
Out to short for Desmond. Espinoza on the receiving end. They could have turned 2 on that one. The Nats playing great D. Detweiler leads off. It's a 1-1 game. The order, it's Detweiler to hit, bottom of the third coming up. Michael Morse is homered, and the ball game is tied. Mike Rizzo joins us. Mike, a different kind of day here, because over the last few years we have kept celebrating the arrivals of new talent to the organization. Today it's Stan Kasten leaving the organization. Your thoughts on how it impacts the Nationals?
Well, it's a bittersweet day, specifically for me. You know, my personal relationship with Stan, and not only with that, but you know what he brings to the organization, to the ball club. You know, he's been an instrumental figure for a long, long time here since the beginning of the franchise, and you know he brings a lot to the table. And I, you know, personally, I've got, you know, I owe the man a lot. He's mentored me and in my job here, and gave me the job when I first arrived as the assistant GM, and then gave me the GM, you know, GM job thereafter.
Ross Detweiler gets around late. Everybody okay downstairs, fortunately. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mike, maybe for baseball fans out there wondering, I mean, we know what a manager does. We know what a general manager does. What exactly are the duties of a team president, and what is his day-to-day thing?
Well, Stan is in charge of the entire organization. You think about the marketing department, the sales department, the ticketing department, baseball operations, security, field maintenance, you know, all the way down the road, and also, you know, assists me in baseball operations, those decisions. So, you know, he wears a lot of hats. It's a multifaceted occupation. You know, the face of kind of the public media face of the franchise also.
Ray, do you have a question for Mike?
I do. Mike, how about these young guys? You have to be ecstatic, really, about what you're seeing here in the last, not necessarily the way the bats have been swinging, but the defensive play individually. If you break these guys out, looking at Espinosa and Desi making all these plays, something that we thought would happen out of spring training, didn't happen, but now you're starting to see a baseball team that looks like they can play some defense.
Well, defensively, Ray, as you know, as you've known, Desi, when he won the job in spring training, you know, he was a guy that these errors are not unexpected. We figured that he was going to make somewhere between 35 and 38 errors this year, because it's typical for a young, rangy shortstop to make a lot of errors. We feel that those errors will be cut drastically next year by just learning the speed of the game, the speed of the major league hitters and the base runners. And you know, when you have a guy that has such a strong arm like Desmond with such great range, it leads to errors often, because you're going to think that you can make every play, every throw. It's sort of like a John Elway at quarterback. He thinks he can slip the ball into the smallest of holes, and sometimes it gets intercepted.
Espinosa fouls one off to the left. And Ray and I have talked about this, Mike, already in the last couple of weeks. We've seen some plays made, and today's double plays sort of an indication of that. But we've already seen some plays made on the infield that we haven't seen around here before.
Well, you know, that the double play turn there by Espinosa is really it attributes to his athletic ability. This guy's played shortstop for about 3 weeks now in his entire lifetime. So, you know, we think that his learning curve at second base is going to be a small one. He's got great range and athleticism. Both of those middle infield guys are fearless, and we think there's going to be some thump and some offensive production in both of those bats.
Very well played up the middle by Angel Sanchez. I think I know the answer to this, but fans keep asking me, is there any chance that those two go to Florida and fight for the shortstop job, or is it set in stone, Desmond short, Espinosa second?
You know, I don't think anything is set in stone, Bob. It's, you know, you go to spring training, competition, as you've heard me say before, competition is great. I love when guys battle over things. It gives the manager, it gives the general manager some flexibility and some options down the road. You know, we need to see long term where Espinosa stands as far as in the 2011 club out of spring training. You know, again, my credo is as a scout and then later as a general manager is, you know, September baseball can fool you sometimes, and we're trying to figure out who these guys really are and what we really have.
Mind giving us 3 more outs?
I sure would love to.
All right, Mike Rizzo with us, top of the 4th coming up. Nats and the Astros tied at 1. Averaging 12 pitches per inning. So far, so good. KEPPINGER doubled off him in the first over Maxwell, and Michael Morse led off the second with his 13th homer. Mike, how would you like to analyze these double plays for us?
Well, these do be a pleasure. You know, Gonzo gets an in-between hop, gives him a bad feed at his feet. The runner's all on top of him, and he still has the arm strength and the guts to stay in there and make the play. And then Desmond just does a circus act catching the ball, and then to even think about throwing the ball and throw it accurately is showing how far he's come as a major league shortstop.
That second play also tells me that Desmond was aware that that was a pitcher over there running the bases, because Francois, or rather Bourgeois, probably doesn't get picked off, but he got the pitcher, and we always talk about that field awareness. Who is where on the bases? Well,
there's the one thing I'll say about Ian throughout this season, even when he was green at the beginning of the year, is that he studies the game and he has court awareness, as I heard you say last night, and that's a great term for him. He's as studied and as baseball IQ player as I've been around as a young kid.
Now, Mike, obviously the offseason holds a little bit of mystery. The Adam Dunn situation. Right now, as you look at this ball club, what are the big needs for 2011?
Well, I think starting pitching. You get ourselves a front of the line, top of the rotation guy that we can lean on every fifth day, which makes every other rotation spot a little bit more palatable. It gives guys a little bit more comfort when you're not taking on the Roy Halladay's, every fifth day. And we run across the Mets and the Phillies, the Marlins, and the Braves so often that they're such pitching-rich organizations that we need to keep up with them, and we need to out-develop them. We need to acquire players that can compete in that division.
Well, being around a long time, getting back to Desi, I just want to take it right over to Espinosa. I see the same things in him as I see in Desmond, Mike. He just has that it about him that his baseball acumen is way off the charts. And you just watch him. He's not made a mistake defensively. He hasn't made a mistake base running wise. He's got to get a little bit more selective. Seemingly left-handed, seems more confident from the right side. But I really can't see him, and I know we can all get fired up about something, and since he's the kind of kid that I like so much, I'm so fired up about him. But I can't see him not being everyday player on this club next year. I know you don't like to rush people, but he's just very bright.
I agree with you. His athleticism, the speed of the game. He's not overwhelmed by anything, and you see he's got pop from both sides of the bat. Plate pitch recognition is going to be a big part of his game. When the second time around the league, when the advanced scouts get a hold of him to see if he makes adjustments, but I think with the way he's learned and brought up in this game, our development staff has done such a terrific job with him. Randy Norton gets our AA manager gets a lot of credit for Espy's development, not only as a ball player but as a person and a player, and he's terrific.
Look at this. They're trying to turn everything in sight. That ball was hit so softly. No chance, but they made it interesting. Hey, Mike, before we let you go, another winning season overall for your minor leagues. That's 3 years in a row with an over 500 winning percentage. What does that mean to the club?
It means very little to me. The only real level that we need to win and we demand to win is here in the major leagues. But what it does show is that we're putting impactful type of players in the minor leagues that allows us to win. And winning is part of the development plan. It's not the utmost, our first and utmost characteristic that we're looking at. We want players to improve and get better. But it does show that the amount of work that these guys put in the minor leagues and the amount of work that our scouts put in on a day-to-day basis, the unsung heroes are the scouts and the player development guys, and those are the guys that get the credit for the Desmonds, the Espinosas, and the Ramoses, the Bernadinas, those young players that are playing so well for us. The winning is a part of our equation down in the minor leagues, but development comes first. Winning is a byproduct of preparation and hard work, and I tip my hat to our scouts and our player development guys.
And Bryce Harper gets his first at-bats today down in Florida.
Yeah, that's something we're going to watch very interestingly, and we're going to treat him like a 17-year-old draft pick and be patient with him, and he's going to show us what he can do. The game is as Ray will tell you, it's between the lines, but your success and your failures are oftentimes between your ears, and he needs to figure out how the professional game is played, and when he does that, when I think the ability curve will be a short curve for him. It's just learning how to play the game and learning how to adapt to the professional environment.
Evidently some question on the count here on the part of the hitter, Sanchez. I've got one more final question for you.
I got one.
How's Steven Strasburg doing?
Steven is doing well. He has full range of motion in his right elbow. He's working diligently every morning with a physical therapist in San Diego at the Scripps Clinic, and he's really determined to be the best rehab player in the history of baseball, and to get back to his teammates because he feels like he feels very bad that he's kind of let his teammates down by getting hurt, which we realize is kind of a ridiculous statement because he gives everything he has every time he goes to the mound.
Now it's 3-1 to Sanchez. Chris Johnson at second base with 2 outs. Detweiler gets a pop-up. Short right field. Michael Morse is right there. Mike, thanks so much for your time. Our best to stand when you see him.
My pleasure, guys.
That's Mike Rizzo. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Good. Everybody behind him, but where's Abe? Tall Tom and then the father of our country. Evidently Abe is he's got some magic going today. And George checks in the winner. When I first saw that, I thought it was a massage table. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. As traffic crawls on 395 in the distance, we enjoy a ball game going into the bottom of the 4th inning with Desmond, Morse, and Bernadina coming up. Ian popped up to second baseman Keppinger first time, and that's a breaking ball away, 2-0. There's the home run hitter. Michaels hit 2 homers in this series out of his 3 hits. Man, 2-1 is the count. Evidently, last half inning, the Nationals got a free strike. Detweiler threw 2 pitches, and the count was 2-1 on the scoreboard. Now it's 2-1, but it says 3-0, and I think Paul Nart's getting a little irritated. Desmond will hit this one to right, drifting to the line, Pence. Michael Morse hit one down that way last time, but a lot further.
He got a fastball away from him. They set up away. He threw it out there right off the plate. And just right built into his swing with that great extension that he has on pitches out away from his body.
So Michael Morse continues his interesting hitting here. He had 6 home runs in parts of 5 years with Seattle and Washington as a part-time player. Right now, Michael is playing in his 89th game. He's had 238 at-bats, 13 homers, 36 RBIs. So if you project him for 500 at-bats, he's in the mid-20s on homers and in the 70s in ribbies. Angel Sanchez throws him out, 2 down here in the 4th inning. That'll bring up Bernadina. Roger with a base hit up the middle first time. Starting to come alive a little bit. 3 hits and 12 at-bats this series. With a walk. Going up the middle a lot, but that's right into Figueroa's glove, and this game goes flying into the 5th inning. 1-3-0, both clubs.
Talked to me a little earlier today about fielding ground balls.
Well, when I see the ball hit, I know I need to go and get that short hop. I get the short hop. Knowing the speed of the runner, I'm able to set my feet, get a good grip of the ball so I know I can get true spin on it and be able to make a strong throw across to first base and make an accurate throw.
Yeah, Danny Espinosa has so much information at such a young age about fielding ground balls. He knows what he has to do. You heard him talk about taking up ground there, moving toward the ball, knowing that he has plenty of time, already knowing that he has the speed of the runner in the back of his mind. We have another play later on that we may be able to get to show you. Not just a offensive player, but a well-rounded defensive player. That the reason he's so good, Bob, he does so many things fundamentally right. Sure, he's blessed with great hands and a great arm, but he just knows how to go get ground balls and how to field them and give himself the best chance for success.
And Long Beach State program producing Bobby Crosby, Troy Tulowitzki, and Evan Longoria in recent years. A haven for shortstops. Good bunt by Figueroa. Kennedy to Espinosa. And Quintero down to second base after his base hit. Top of the order now, it'll be Jason Bourgeois. The 153rd game of the year for both ball clubs. The Nationals have three-game series remaining. Braves in tomorrow night. They're actually off today and probably in town. Phillies here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Off day next Thursday, then on to New York to finish things up. Breaking ball over but low. Ross Detweiler's only given up 4 hits, 2 walks of no consequence. Hasn't struck out a hitter. But the way the Nats are playing infield defense, that's okay. He went off speed on 2-0, got a foul ball.
He has a real good idea how to pitch. He missed with a big breaking ball. He knows that this kid has hit fastballs mainly up. Starts him off with a curveball that looked to me to be a strike or close to it. Great breaking curveball. Went back to the changeup, then went soft again.
Got inside in the hands of the right-handed hitter there. Maxwell broke back, cruises in. 2 outs. We've been hot on trivia. Let's see what they have for us today. AT&T from the smartphone. Which 3 players hit at least 20 home runs each season for a 10-year period, 2000 to 09? At least 20.
Well, you know that A-Rod has.
I think 2000 was Albert Pujols' first year.
So he has.
01 was his first year. I think 01 was Pujols' first year. So he may not be on that list. That ball lashed into left by Keppinger. Bernadina going to hit the cutoff man perfectly, and the Astros have not scored. That was a catcher running. Keppinger's having a good day. 2 hits and a walk, but they're not on the board yet here in the 5th.
Well, Keppinger's having a good year. He makes contact, short stroke, but Bernadina charges, takes up so much ground, no chance, hits the cutoff man right in the chest. Mike Rizzo and I talked about the fundamentally sound play of Maxwell, Desmond, Espinosa, and Bernadina after we went off the air for commercial. And you know, those homegrown players that come out of that system where their player development taught by the same people for 2 or 3 years in the minor leagues, they come up here knowing how to play. You remember so often Manny Acta would make references, they're learning to play in the big leagues. Well, that's not the way it works. You better know how to play when you get here. And things like the instructional league, where they go down there and get intensive one-on-one training and instruction from the coaches that are going to be down there. Winter ball, like Espinosa and Desmond are going to play together in Puerto Rico. All a part of learning how to play, but the biggest thing is going to spring training, getting with the instructors, the roving hitting instructors, the roving infielder instructors, outfielder men that talk about and teach about how to play this game correctly. And they just have drill after drill after drill, Bob, and just you learn to play the game the way that the Nationals want you to play the game.
1 and 2, Detweiler to Pence instead of throw over.
Sometimes the problem you get into is when you make acquisitions and you trade for guys on other ball clubs, they play the game a little differently. They were taught a little differently. It's all very similar, but there are some differences. And, you know, it becomes obvious to me seeing a guy that is not quite going along with the program.
That's a breaking ball that stays outside. Just thinking about our trivia question. A-Rod. There's Carlos Lee. I was thinking maybe injury got in the way. Jim Thome would be a candidate for that list. What about Manny Ramirez?
When did Teixeira come into the league?
That's a good one. I could tell you in a minute. Desmond up the middle. They keep doing it, but his throw is high, and Espinoza couldn't get back down out of the air. Astros take the lead. Quintero scores. Keppinger safe at second. Pence at first. Ian got to the ball in plenty of time to make the play, but that backhanded flip.
Yeah. I've never liked it. It's probably the only thing you can do there, but he takes an extra step. And you got to get that ball and just get rid of it. In case it is a bad throw, watch how he takes an extra step here. See, 2 extra steps, and that then allows the runner to get close. So you catch that ball and get rid of it right now, and if it's a little errant, you've got a chance to make the play.
Steve McCaddy makes a visit. They're going to say fielder's choice for the runner to get to first. E6 for the runner to get to second. All right, well, they're going to get us with the trivia answer right now. Not time to look up Mark Teixeira. Is he on this list? How about that? You know, I was thinking about Carlos Lee for a minute, but I didn't remember him being around that long. And Lance Berkman on that list, 2 Astros. Amazing. Now you guys got us. Well done. That was Desmond's 34th error of the year. How about a list? We love lists. Each year of a decade with 20 or more, the Babe in the Roaring 20s. Mella, Jimmy Fox, the great Gil Hodges, Hammer and Hank, Mr. October, Bonds and Williams, teammates for a while, and then the 3 we just talked about. Evidently, the 40s didn't yield any long-time sluggers like that.
Well, you also had the war in there. That had a lot to do with that.
You had Ted Williams left. Greg Stammen. I know Stan Musial didn't come up until 41. So on the fielder's choice, E6, no RBI. Carlos Lee gets to the plate. And his ball was grabbed in left by Desmond. Then he popped up to Kennedy. He gets under this one. Out to deep left center for Justin Maxwell. Astros will settle for a run. Halfway through the ball game, Houston leads it 2-1. AFCEA Sideline Report with Debbie. Visit AFCEA.org, the Association for IT Pros, covering the bases with Danny Espinoza.
Well, as a youngster, Danny told me that he enjoyed watching A-Rod and Derek Jeter, but once he got to high school, it was a certain Long Beach State shortstop that he wanted to follow in the footsteps of, Troy Tulowitzki, and he did, and they've become friends.
When I got my first hit, he was the first one to say congratulations. You know, he texted me and said congratulations. He said, you know, even though it was a base hit, he said that should have been an out. But you know, he's good. You know, he sent me bats this year, and you know, he'll text me, how's everything going? You know, how are you adjusting to everything? So he's been real helpful.
And, of course, here is a look at his first hit. And Danny said that he really enjoyed the way that Troy played and wanted to play like he did, Bob.
That was in Florida, that severe overspin hopper out to second base. Ramos tried to pull an outside pitch. Angel Sanchez handles it perfectly. And Ramos is gone. Bottom of the 5th underway with Maxwell and Gonzalez coming up. Danny's 0 for 2 today. Only ball game in progress around the major leagues right now. A couple of afternoon games. The Phillies and the Braves are both off. Philadelphia, 10 in a row now. So they're 92 and 61. That's 153 games. So they have 9 left. They're 6 up on Atlanta. So the Phillies' magic number is 4 when they resume tomorrow night to clinch the division. It could happen here next week. Phillies this weekend at home to take on the Mets. I kind of like their chances of clinching at home. Nats have been tough on the Braves, beating them 4 out of 6 here. Slow roller, Keppinger, close, out, and Carlos Lee stays on the bag just long enough.
We have a play like this that Danny Espinosa makes now. Keppinger decides to backhand it. Espinosa ended up circling the ball. It makes it a lot tougher play when you backhand it because you're not able to set those feet and make the firm throw. He throws it in the dirt, but Carlos picks him up.
And with Lance Berkman gone, Carlos Lee will be getting more first base work in spring training next year down in Kissimmee. Willie Harris next for Ross Detweiler, who's thrown 68 pitches, 37 strikes in 5 innings. But won't be batting here. And now Figueroa has retired 11 straight since Ramos base hit. Back in the 2nd. Astros lead 2-1. For you for next year. Place a deposit on 2 new 2011 season tickets. You get 2 free. Go to nationals.com/2011 for more information. We'll see a lot of infield defense with these kids next year. Bernadina, an acrobat in the outfield. And a lot of good things happening around here. Top of the 6th inning, Jason Michaels leads off.
Nice changeup right there, boy. If he can ever get that pitch and the feel of that pitch consistently, he's going to be good, Bob. You see the break in his curveball? It's got just a little hump to it, but it's got so much hard rotation that it seldom hangs. He gets good bite on that thing.
And the fastball is hacked foul.
He's right around 90 all the time consistently. You don't see it go 87, 91. He's pitches right around 90, 91.
Astros box, 5 hits, 2 runs, one of them unearned. The only RBI, Keppinger, back in the first.
And that's the only ball that was scalded. Keppinger also hit a line drive to left, but he's had so many ground balls. He's been able to take the sting out of the hitter's bat going inside here.
That ball hit hard. Espinosa to his left. He does it again. I'm telling you, in 3 years in this ballpark, we haven't seen these before.
Hey, this is a Gold Glove looking player to me. I'm just going to come out and tell you right now, you've got a Gold Glove player at third base. Desi may get there once he eliminates some of those errors, but this kid, you don't make plays like that. This is real speed. This ball is a rocket. He takes 2 steps, catches the ball behind him. That ball is traveling, 90 miles an hour plus. He dives, centers the ball in his glove, and then comes up, and I love to see him throw that thing. He throws it firm. Hey, if you got a good arm, show it. He had to throw it up there firm.
Detweiler's 9th ground ball out of the game. Chris Johnson, third baseman, robbed of a hit by Kennedy first time.
Imagine these two guys in the middle of the infield with all these pitchers that we have that don't strike people out.
Yeah, Kennedy after it, and a step and a half short. Kind of interesting, we were concerned about the hitters with a 4:35 start. Well, we had cloud cover for about an hour and a half, and now there is sunshine, but nearly the entire field is in the shade. So the tough hitting conditions we might have anticipated did not materialize, because 4:30, 5 o'clock with shadows can be a horrible time to try to hit. There's Gonzalez to his left. Man, this is like an instructional video. 2 ground balls, 2 outs. And this portion of our ball game featuring numerous infield defensive highlights, brought to you by Bank of America. I kind of like that interest we're accruing for the future with some of these guys. 10 ground ball outs.
Me too, buddy.
Alex Sanchez, the hitter.
We've been working seemingly hardest on starting pitching the 4 years that I've been here, and we've not
come and gone,
and we've not made a lot of progress in that area. Certainly Strasburg the exception, but that can go out there and get you 6, 7, 8 innings every time out and keep your team in the game. We've got 11 or 12 names, but nobody that's guaranteed in the starting pitching rotation that can just shut you down. A lot of number 4 type starters.
That ball gashed up the middle by Sanchez. He's aboard for the second time, hit by a pitch earlier. And the Astros have a runner with 2 outs. Ross Detweiler hasn't been able to get through a conventional 1-2-3 inning yet. This will probably be his last inning. He's due to lead off in the 6th. But nice for us, Ray, to get some significant exposure to Ross. Haven't seen him pitch that many innings over the last year or so. So this is a good, hard 6-inning look at him today.
I think he's going to be a part of that 5-man rotation. Great changeup.
Yep, had him way out ahead. Desmond to Espinosa. A good inning for the Nats. 6 solid for Detweiler. 1 earned run. 18 outs.
hand heavy. It's my dominant hand, and like right in this picture, try to get my leg kick up and try to time the ball. And when I see the pitch coming, I'm just trying to get a good pitch to drive, and I got the top hand of the ball, and I keep my head down to try to get the good pitch, and I got a ball in the zone, and I was able to get it there and drive that ball.
2-1 Houston. Danny Espinosa met with him before the game about some defensive plays and the way he's swinging the bat. A little bit of commentary from the young kid from California.
Here's Willie. Nats down by a run, so Detweiler's done. And a very good line for Ross. 6 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned. 6 hits, 2 walks, no strikeouts. Hit a batter, 2 double plays. 80 pitches, 46 strikes. A very good showing by Ross Detweiler.
You know, when you ask Danny a question, Bob, we're going to get to that when he gets up here to bat. He always has a very mature answer. I mean, he doesn't stop to think about it. It's just spontaneously reacts. So you never can really surprise him with anything. He's got his mind on the game all the time and has a real good grasp of what he's doing. Even though he's had a tough time left-handed, he knows exactly what's happening. He's getting behind the count and chasing pitches up out of the zone. And he's working on that. He just looks like one of those hitters. When he is ahead in the count, he's going to do damage. Behind in the count, left-handed, he struggles just a little bit to get the bat on the ball. But he's been forced to chase pitches that he doesn't really want to chase. He's doing something with that slider up in the strike zone, and nobody's getting it.
Nelson Figueroa, an ordinary major league pitcher most of his career, retiring 12 consecutive Nats. Espinosa carrying the ball, but that's a quarterback's number right there, 15.
Playing the guitar.
I'm going to have to ask him if he is truly a left-handed guitar player, like Paul McCartney. By the way, they did change the ruling on Hunter Pence's ground ball in the 5th inning. I heard Ray talking to our crew about the fact that Desmond goes a lot farther for balls than some shortstops. They went ahead and gave Hunter Pence a hit, took away Desmond's error. The only negative connotation is that's another earned run against Detweiler, but hey, you'll take 2 earned runs in 6 innings every time out.
Nothing but breaking balls and fastballs off the plate away. He got around pretty quickly. The kid likes a fastball in. Another fastball away. Figueroa, tremendous command today. Just 3 hits. No strikeout, no walks, 1 strikeout.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Danny.
Steady diet.
Figueroa does now. He doesn't want to walk anybody. Up by a run. Adam Kennedy in the number 2 spot today.
Well, he's throwing him 1 fastball away, and just think about it. He's doing nothing but breaking balls. I've got to think it's going to be another breaking ball. Yep.
He does and misses with it. So the Nats have the tying run on base. That's Figueroa's first walk of the day. And the Nats have their first base runner since the 2nd inning, with Kennedy coming up, so it's been a quiet day. The only run produced on Mike Morse in the cleanup spot today, leading off the 2nd and jacking one into the right field bullpen, his 13th. He might bat in this inning. Adam Kennedy's 0 for 2. He's pulled the ball twice on the ground. Espinosa started, then stopped. Has to dive back in. That was pretty close. So Detweiler's line changes to 2 earned runs in 6 innings on 7 hits. And Figueroa living away and starting to miss 2-0. Still that stage of the ball game where Kennedy will be looking to get something he can hit hard on a 2-0 count. Target away. He does get something he can hit hard out to center, but Bourgeois there just short of the track for the second out. We'll go back to that play that they've now changed to a hit, Ray.
Well, he's playing Pence in the hole. You've got a real good runner, Keppinger at first. Watch how far he goes to get this ball. Ranges, but what he does, he takes 2 extra steps, and if you're going to backhand flip this ball, you got to flip it there. Right. See, he took 2 more steps. That makes his angle so much sharper back toward the bag, or more acute, and it's just a natural tendency to throw the ball up in the air because you're not taking it right at second base. You've already passed by it, and you're kind of throwing it behind you.
Espinosa running. Desmond right behind him with a perfect hit and run. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. And they continue this trend of when Espinosa gets on base, Desmond usually makes something happen right behind him. And that'll bring in Michael Morse.
Well, that's a pretty thing. You normally don't see a hit and run with 2 outs, but Desmond got a pitch that he liked. Espinosa gets a great jump. He doesn't look in there, so it was a straight steal.
Right.
And just Desmond got a pitch he liked and dumped it right there where they vacated. But it's a beautiful thing, isn't it? That hit and run, it ended up being a run and hit there because he was definitely still in the bag, as you did not see him look in to see where the flight of the ball might go. No use to then, once there's 2 outs, might as well just keep on running because if it's a line drive at somebody, you're out anyway.
Here's Michael Morse.
But you're right about Desi. He seems to, every time that Danny does something, he is going to get a base hit.
Or bunt him
bunt him over. Do something to advance him anyway.
Big spot for Morse here in a 1-run game. Astros lead 2-1, bottom of the 6th. And a good take.
Gosh.
Yeah, he's like Zimmerman hitting crazily against the Central this year.
Well, Bob, we talked about it several times about that first-third situation with 2 outs. And you can get your runner down there because they're seldom going to throw through. But
and that's into the corner. Desmond was running with the pitch, and he will score. Michael Morse drives in 2 more. The Nationals lead 3-2. Runners running, hitters hitting, and guys touching home plate.
And Jim Wiggleman pushing the buttons, sending Desmond, allowing him to score from first base. And I love that first-third situation. I love the aggressiveness of managers. And I love the aggressiveness of Michael Morse as he is in that lineup. He in the 4th spot, responding today with a home run, 3 RBIs, 2 hits.
He hits Bernadina now with another runner in scoring position. So Michael Morse, 3 RBIs today, 38 on the year. Brad Mills' bullpen not throwing yet, but they're stirring out there. So Morse in this series now, 2 home runs and 4 RBIs on 4 hits. Fastball in there. Rogers got to be swinging here if it's close. This is not a strikeout pitcher.
I'm rubbing off on you a little bit, Bobby.
How's that?
You got to swing if it's close. You were always a hacker, weren't you? You get 2 strikes, you're going to put the ball in play, weren't you?
Yeah, those slow pitch softball, low 2 pitches were pretty tough, Ray.
Hey, did you?
Yeah, I had 2 career homers.
Did you advance past coach pitch, Bob?
Come on. Come on.
Well, I asked you a question and you go to softball. I mean, just how high, where did your baseball?
We didn't have coach pitch when I was a kid. We were pitching in 1st grade. Bernadina goes deep left center field. That ball heading for the bullpen. Look at these Nationals driving in runs with 2 outs. And it's a 5-2 game. Bernadina's 11th of the year.
It is amazing how it happens in bunches, isn't it?
2 out hits, 3 in a row.
After fouling off so many of those pitches there, he squares that one and hits it a long way opposite field. You talked about balls not going out to right into the bullpen from right-handers. I've seen even less balls go into that bullpen in left center field from left-handed hitters.
Yeah, the one in right field's right down the line.
Yeah,
Adam
340
Dunn,
maybe. And
Adam Dunn's visited that left field side a few times. Great swing by Bernadina. His RBI total shoots up to 46. And the Nationals have a 4-run 6th inning. Still nobody throwing in the Houston bullpen. Figueroa will be done because he's due to bat first. And the Nats rack him in the 6th inning. A walk to Espinosa. Desmond a hit. Morse a double. Bernadina homer. 5-2 Nats. Ford dealers. Your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford, drive one. And by H.H. Gregg. We make buying TVs and appliances simple. H.H. Gregg, price and advice guaranteed. Well, you know, coming into this series, we're crowing about Houston and all of their young players responding after the trade of Lance Berkman and Roy Oswalt. Well, now the Nats youngsters are making their presence heard here in the second last week of the season.
They are, Bob, and they're playing better and better. It's just a matter of subjection, getting the experience, and, you're going to go in slumps. Bernadina's been in a slump. You said earlier today he's starting to get some base hits, even though they may be infield variety. But, golly, Espinosa making plays out there, Desi making the plays. Just looks like a ball club that is starting to build and become a cohesive unit with a lot of pluses. Speed, defense, bullpen. Hitting is getting better, getting better balls to hit. But you see a lot of the young guys getting to better balls to hit. And Michael Morse just maybe bidding for that everyday job somewhere next year.
Mike Rizzo made an interesting statement, and I've heard this before, that September can be deceiving. But, Ray, when a guy is getting base hits and driving in runs in clutch situations, I'm not sure it matters what month it is. Stammen against Bogus Sevich, and Bryan will bounce out to Espinosa, 7th inning underway.
Well, sometimes that September look gives you a little false jump in your evaluation because of the fact that you're facing sometimes young pitchers that are just getting a shot at pitching in the big leagues. That is not the case now. Everybody that we have faced have establish your rotations. We're playing a lot of teams that are in the pennant race, facing the best pitchers in the league. So I think it's a real good judge. It's a real good look at what a team or a player can do in critical times. Looking for the word test. Real good test for a player. Because he's facing all good pitching. You know, a lot of teams that are not in contention call up young pitchers to just get a shot or a look at them like we've done in the past.
Now Stammen gets Bourgeois 0-2. 1 out, top of the 7th. Washington on top suddenly by 3 runs. Jeff Keppinger's had a good day, a perfect day. Double walk single. And Stammen goes right after him. Oh, great pick by Gonzalez. That ball goes real deep in the hole if he doesn't do that. And no way Desmond throws out Bourgeois. And the Nats continue to flash great leather today.
They're putting on a clinic. Overspin, short hop, fully extended, rights himself, guns him out. Once you make the catch, it's over with these guys.
I tell you, Ray, I hope Zimmerman and Dunn can get back in this lineup. The way these guys are playing. We kid because we care. That's probably what they're hearing from some of their guys. I love it. Get a couple of regulars, a day off, and bang. Bases empty, 2 outs. Here's Keppinger, who's been a tough out the entire series. He's 5 for 13 with 2 RBIs. And Stammen's breaking ball just veers outside. There he goes again. Nats haven't found a way to get him out.
Well, he's just a good hitter, Bob. He always has been. Doesn't try to do too much. Hits the ball the opposite way a lot.
We're having a Miller Lite party night here at the ballpark. It'll happen tomorrow and Saturday as well for the final times this year. Scoreboard Pavilion seat drink voucher, $20. 22 for prime games. Come early, pregame happy hour, $5 beers at the Miller Lite Scoreboard Walk Bar. Here's Hunter Pence, RBI bouncer up the middle last time. Drew Storm might be an 8th inning guy today. Fastball just missing. Stammen's been around the plate for his first 4 batters here. Craig is making his 13th bullpen appearance. He gives up a base hit the other way. And now you're dealing with Carlos Lee suddenly representing the tying run. Good approach by the Astros. Keppinger up the middle. Pence goes opposite field.
On the H.H. Gregg Exmo, look at the way he chokes up on the bat. He uses a 35-inch bat, so he can afford to choke up, but right out in front of the plate, even though the ball was away from him, let the ball get right to the corner of the plate.
He's really an old school player, isn't he?
He is. Boy, you saw 25-30% of your hitters minimally that's choked up at least a little bit.
Yeah,
but he's right up and leads their team in home runs.
2nd round pick out of Texas Arlington 6 years ago.
All-time home run leader Barry Bonds always choked up.
Carlos Lee 0 for 3. That makes him even more dangerous. Target in. Make sure you get it in there. Oh, Gonzalez! Look at this! Everybody playing Gold Glove defense on the infield today. Fantastic. Saving at least one run, maybe two. Nationals unbelievable. This defense brought to you by the all-new 2011 Hyundai Sonata. Visit your Washington area Hyundai dealers today. Fans loving the defense today. Zimmerman out, Gonzalez in, and Carlos Lee, you're out. Detweiler has a chance to be the winner. Bernadina, opposite field, 2-run homer. Michael Morse, 3 RBIs. This graphic should have a gigantic D behind it, Ray. The Nats have been amazing today.
They have played the best game that they've played all year defensively because you know why? Because they've had so many opportunities to make great plays. And Michael Morse, an opportunity to hit a home run on a pitch out away from him, and he capitalizes deep into the bullpen. Then comes up in the 6th, fastball. They try to go inside, lines at the left field for a double, drives in 2 more runs. 3 RBIs for the day, a double and a home run, providing most of the offense for the Nationals.
And I know what Bill Brown and Jim DeShays, our friends next door in the Houston TV booth, are saying. They're saying this is the 2nd worst defensive club in the National League? No way. Henry VR. Or the Astros here, bottom of the 7th. Maxwell Gonzalez, then the pitcher's spot. Craig Stammen, with a little help from his friends, gets a scoreless top of the 7th. You just can never figure out this game. Ryan Zimmerman doesn't play today. And the Nationals, with Gonzalez helping out, have a spectacular day in the field.
Well,
everybody involved.
Think about it.
Made a good play.
Think about it. You got 4 shortstops playing the infield.
You're right.
Every one of these men came up as shortstops, and they are picking it clean.
Tough pitch to lay off. 2-2. Gustavo Chacin, who was in spring training with the Nationals, it was last year, 09 for a while. Most of his career in Toronto. Alberto Gonzalez with the bat. 0 for 2. Maxwell 0 for 2. And Max takes the fastball up. Did he go? No, he didn't. Nice at bat for Justin Maxwell. He's aboard here in the 7th inning. Season tickets on sale for next year. Place a deposit on 2 new 2011 season tickets. You get 2 free. For all the information you need, nationals.com/2011. Here's Alberto Gonzalez hitting the ball opposite field in the air twice. He's 0 for 2.
Villar's fastball 93 moving all over the place. The two breaking balls that he threw were bad breaking balls off speed. Not a bad time to run for Justin Maxwell somewhere in this series.
He's run well this year, 5 out of 6. Humberto Quintero, the catcher, 33% caught stealing rate. He started, then stopped. Shortstop broke over to the bag and barely gets back to the ball. A 6'4" fielder's choice, played well by Sanchez, Ray, who was going the wrong way when that ball was hit.
Well, I think because maybe he saw Maxwell break, and that false break sometimes will have an infielder that has responsibility to cover to take a half a step, a jab step toward that bag. You're supposed to wait till the ball passes the hitter before you make the move, because you're cheating there anyway for the double play. Plenty of time to get to the bag to cover on the steal.
So here's Kevin Mensch. One on, one out. And Kevin as a pinch hitter. 3 for 18. 3 for 21 with an RBI overall. That is a pinch RBI he has. That ball's off the end of his bat into right for Hunter Pence. 2 outs. And the top of the order coming up with Danny Espinosa. But he stops halfway to home plate because Brad Mills is coming out to bring in left-hander Gustavo Chacin. He had his own cologne named after him in Toronto. It was called Chacin.
The first time I could remember, I was about 3 or 4, and I was just part of a Parks and Recreation crew, and I was out there playing coach pitch with a couple of the kids that were a little older than me, and I remember just being out there, and I was so small, I had to be with the coach always, but I do remember being out there playing.
Good friends with his teammate Ian Desmond. Here's Danny with more on that.
On the field, he's always been, he's always there, patting me on the back, and the nights that I've struggled, he's always been there, just keep playing, and I'm a guy, I try to keep my head up, and I run on and off the field all the time, so I can try to keep all that out of my mind. But he's also there to help it, to make it even easier for me to say, hey, just keep going. And, I feel that I do that for him, too, and I can help him out with that a little bit. And off the field, it's the same way. Off the field, he's always just, he's a cool guy to talk to, and I feel like we get along well.
Ian told me, too, that he has really enjoyed playing alongside Danny Espinosa. Now, Danny, a kid from California, describes himself as laid back. During his free time, he enjoys bodyboarding and spending time at the beach, Bob.
Thank you, Debbie. Top of the order coming up. It'll be Espinosa, who walked and scored last time, against 29-year-old left-hander Gustavo Chacin, who became an overnight sensation in Toronto back in 2005 when he won 13 games. Pitched 203 innings. That was 5 years ago, and he's won 15 games since. They think Gonzalez could be running with 2 outs. Alberto has not attempted a steal this year.
When you look up there at the board, you see that Danny's hitting .222, and yet 13 RBIs and 12 runs scored now. And you just have to forget about the average.
Oh, he jacks one to left field.
Wow.
It's another homer for Espinosa over the bullpen. His 6th of the year, and the Nats have blasted their way to a 7-2 lead.
You know, I was wondering what they were thinking. Danny's been crushing the ball right-handed, having a little trouble left-handed. They go to the left-handed pitcher to get that matchup. I know Danny was feeling good about it. But this kid, forget about .222. Let him get around the league, face some of these guys. See him more than 1 time, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Yeah, I'm penciling him in the lineup next year. I don't have anything to do with it, but... I mean, I just love the defense. Just whatever he does offensively. I mean, but that is, I mean, he just is electric.
That's over 400 to the back of that bullpen up into the seats. Here's Kennedy 0 for 3. So the Nats have gone deep 3 times today. Morse, Bernadina, and Espinosa. And Danny Espinosa now has 6 home runs and 15 RBIs in his first 20 big league games.
Well, he had 22 home runs in the minor leagues. And I asked a lot of people, and they said gap-to-gap power.
That's what he told me the first day he got here.
And these home runs that he is hitting, I mean, this is legitimate major league power. You don't hit the ball up there where he hits it. And the home run that he hit left-handed that went down the line that traveled.
Great swing by Kennedy.
336, never got 15 feet off the ground. And it was right down the line. It was like a right-handed pull hitter. The home run that he hit in Pittsburgh to right field was like a left-handed pull hitter, and he was hitting right-handed. It doesn't matter what part or the part, but when he does hit it, his pull side, he launches it, doesn't he, Bob?
I mean, that is a big man's home run. Well, pretty good when your number 5 rated prospect starting the season is here by September. And he's out producing everybody on the team this month.
Oh, man, I get chills seeing these young guys do well.
Anario del Rosario, the right-hander. Now, just for the fun of it, I'm going to look up Ryan Zimmerman's September in 05. He came up in 20 games, had 58 at-bats, 23 hits, no home runs, 6 RBIs, but he hit .397. So when Ryan first came up to the big leagues 5 years ago, he was very good, but he was basically a singles hitter. And Espinosa has come up here, not hitting for nearly that high of an average, but doing unbelievable damage. Here comes another in a procession of Houston pitchers.
You know how old coaches are. They always go to the talent.
Hang out with the guys going well.
You know why? Because they know the camera's going to be on him. You don't get much TV time.
Hey, the Nats aren't going to be facing guys like this tomorrow. It's Tim Hudson, 10-1 with a 1.55 ERA against the Nats. Braves coming to town. And for Washington, Jordan Zimmerman trying to turn things around. Last 2 starts, he's only totaled 6 innings, giving up 9 earned runs. We'll start you at 6:30. Nats Extra here at the ballpark. Ray and I join you at 7. First pitch from Jordan, 7:05. Anario Del Rosario grew up in the Cincinnati organization. And with the runner going, Kennedy, he's in there. Adam Kennedy now with stolen bases this year, 13 out of 15.
It's just so much fun to play with a lead. You can just take chances. You can do anything, forcing the offense, creating more runs. Jim has just been stymied all year long by playing from behind.
Now Desmond chops one left side. Chris Johnson plays it in the dirt, and Carlos Lee evidently bobbled it, but got his glove back around it, and the inning is over. Brian Gorman right there to make the call. You be the umpire.
There's a fast runner, and I need to get around that ball. I think that's going to be my best chance. I think going for a backhand was going to be too tough. And once I got that ball, I knew I got rid of it. And I tried to make a strong throw, try to stay on top of the ball so it didn't tail too much on me.
Danny Espinosa talking about defense, playing great defense. They say hitting's contagious. What about defense, Ray? Spreading things around.
Well, when you have great defensive players, they're going to make great defensive plays. And all these men we mentioned were shortstops, and they're just not afraid of the ball. They're not afraid of making a mistake. They don't fear bad hops. They just go get the ball and make plays. Extraordinary talent. That is a beautiful. That may be the third play. The one going back over his head at shortstop, the one that he dove to his right, backhanding the ball behind him, and now that play, as far as spectacular plays, I know that the 3 of those rate in the top 10 for the season. You picked 2 of them out as the best 2 you've seen this year.
What a day. 6 outs to get, though, so we shouldn't get too happy about this.
Well, I'm happy.
Take care of business.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the win. I'm talking, as we're talking about what we've seen up to this point, and it's very encouraging.
Well put. Jason Michaels leads off against Jim Riggleman's right-hander, Drew Storen. Drew giving up home runs each of his last 2 times out. Trying to just get through the 8th inning, get a scoreless inning pitched under his belt. There's that killer slider.
Hey, if he gets to that thing, you got no chance. Even a home run that Worth hit off the fastball He threw him the breaking ball prior to that, and Worth was way out front, and he didn't come back with the breaking ball. But mentioned the other night, Tim Foley says it's the quickest, sharpest breaking ball on the team.
And he had the hitter extending and reaching. Easy fly ball, Maxwell. Let's have a look at our league leaders. Get ready for one blockbuster hit after another. Hollywood Casino, Charlestown Races, West Virginia. Here they are. Most wins by reliever since '87. And Tyler Clippard. And these are guys who did not make a single start in those seasons. The Wild Thing even did it one year. By the way, the all-time leader since 1920, Elroy Face, with 18 wins for the 1959 Pittsburgh Pirates. Ron Peronowski at 16 for the '63 Dodgers. The monster Dick Raditz, 16 with the '64 Red Sox. The most notable names on the remaining list. Second highest total of all time, 17 by John Hiller of the '74 Tigers and Bill Campbell of the '76 Twins.
Well, what it does, it tells you all those real good pitchers that the pitchers are in the game when it matters. When the game's on the line, 6th, 7th inning, they're in there. You don't get in the game in that part of the game, especially 7th inning where Tyler has gotten a lot of his. 8th inning earlier in the season.
Man, that curveball was slider, whatever you call it.
Filthy. You know, he calls it a slider. It has so much break that it looks like the old-fashioned curveballs. But he got no chance on that thing. And Tim Foley says you just don't see the rotation. It's such tight rotation.
That's what makes it look like a fastball till it's too late.
Look at that.
Then he freezes the hitter with a front door 0-2 pitch.
Well, you don't measure talent by 1 game, 2 games. You measure them over their body of work. And the pitch track right there, UPS store right down the middle, just locked him up.
Here's Sanchez, Nationals pitch track, packaged by the UPS store. They do a lot more than shipping, like offering moving boxes and supplies.
You know, Bob, somewhere I read that, and I don't know who said it, but someone in the organization said that Drew was throwing too many breaking balls earlier on when he was so successful. And, you know, I just wonder if he thought maybe he needed to throw more fastballs, because over the last month or so he's thrown more fastballs. But I think that's something that a young pitcher has to work into himself. You know, if you're confident that slider is your out pitch, when it gets 3-2, throw it. You know, and there's just no doubt that this is one of the best sliders in all the game, not just on this ball club. And you just hate to see him struggle the way he did the other day in Philadelphia, because he has had such a good season. And, you know, how can you expect a young man to come out of here 1 year out of college, be in the back of the game, and day in and day out do the job that he's done?
3-0 pitch. Alex Sanchez hit by a pitch and a base hit today. Humberto Quintero, the catcher, is next.
Sanchez been really choked off in right field by Michael Morse.
Shortstop trying to hit a ball a mile there. In fact, I think his hand came flying off the bat. He had to reach down and put some dirt on it. Going without the gloves here. And the count's 3-2 with 2 outs.
Look how shallow he is in right field right there, right behind second.
There's the fly ball right over there. Michael, foul ball, yes. That wall had no chance against that big guy. And the Nats get a 1-2-3 and a really badly needed 1-2-3 for Drew Storen. Good for him. Good play. Michael Morse doing it all today.
He did. Fastball up, and one of the deepest home runs that's been hit. I mean, over the bullpen, about 5 rows over that thing out there, and I mean, that's a big man's home run. That's big man's territory.
Big man Adam Dunn right there to greet him.
Gosh, I like that kid now. I would have done some serious damage to someone when I managed in Cincinnati if I'd have had a young player coming along like Danny. We had a lot of veteran players, but it's nice to see. Yeah, here's a strong second place.
The nominee for best opposite field homer into the bullpen is
Michael Morse.
And of course, Bernadina's went into the other bullpen. There's a chance we could see that one too. We're pleading with the tape operators. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, right.
Michael Morse right in the rear end.
Oh, yeah, right.
After going 2 for 3 with a homer and a double.
Hey, we're in last place.
Now, that was a changeup, Ray, 81. But what do you think?
If it's a changeup, I'm going to hush.
Okay, yeah, it was off speed.
Since we've got this break, tell you a story about Nolan Ryan. I'm hitting, playing with the Reds. Nolan's pitching, throws a breaking ball, 0-2. I thought it was a fastball. Hit me in the helmet, almost knocked me out. And go to first base, and I'm yelling at him. Throw the ball over the plate. I get to second base. He turns around, looks at me. You know, that kind of little bit of cockiness that he sometimes had. I said, throw the dadgum ball over the plate. Nolan, you're going to kill somebody. I go back, end up my next at bat, and everybody was saying, that was a breaking ball, Ray. That was a breaking ball. I said, I don't care what it was. That thing hurt. I go up to the plate, and Nolan looks at me, both feet on the rubber, looks at me, and says nothing. He just looks, and I'm saying in my mind, oh, shoot. He throws a fastball about 4 inches from my neck, and I hit the dirt, and I brushed myself off, and I said, well, that was a fastball. And that was after,
that's not the one that hit you.
No, that was, and that was after being hit in the head, but I was so stubborn. I said, no way was that a breaking ball, because it felt like a fastball.
Left-hander Wesley Wright comes in. 12th game, 6 ERA. And the Astros employing their 5th reliever in the last 2 innings. Pardon me, 4th in the last 2 innings, as Figueroa went 6. All right, the other nominee for Ford Drive of the game, another opposite field homer by Bernadina.
Well, he's getting my vote right now since he's the last, you know. But that's nice. Still moving a little bit forward, but kept his hands back better that time.
Crowd of 14,633. The biggest crowd, by the way, of this 4-game series for a 4:35 game. Really enjoying themselves today. Well, you hit a homer against Houston, you're going to beat them, as a rule. That was unusual about that series down there. The Nats laid that spanking on the Astros Memorial Day, then didn't hit a homer the rest of the series. And lost 3 out of 4. So here's Roger Bernadina. He's 2 for 3 with a base hit, home run.
Bob, you notice that on both of these nights that the team has erupted with runs, multiple runs and innings, they've gotten good balls to hit. They've been able to work the count. And the greatest hitters of all time, we go back to Ted Williams, always got a good pitch to hit. And if there's anything, and Jim Riggum and I spoke about it yesterday, if there's anything that this club needs to work on, I mean, up and down the lineup, is getting better balls to hit. Because when they work themselves into a good, strong count where it's in their favor, there's a tendency to go out of the strike zone and swing at balls that you make contact with, but balls that you can't hit hard. And that's anxiousness, I believe, and I think it's because of a lot of the pressure that they put upon themselves.
Good at bat by Bernadina.
Yeah, and he's gotten the 2 hits today, and you just see how it frees you up. And I've been there, man. I've been there when, you know, I was so tight at that plate, I'd swing at anything because you're just fighting for a base hit, fighting to do something to help the ball club win. And you can't play when you're giving 110%. You just give 100%, that's enough, and try to play the game relaxed.
2 on, nobody out. Here's Ramos. And a breaking ball drops in.
This kid has a lot of nice hand action at the plate.
1 for 3 today with a base hit up the middle.
Hitting right at 280, 179 for the season.
He drives this ball to right field. Heading back to the scoreboard is Pence. Leaps and grabs it. And 2 runners have to go back. Well played by Hunter Pence. Well, that's a great indication of what's to come with Wilson Ramos. You know, and Ray, right before that swing, a thing dawned on me. We haven't talked about him 1 second behind the plate today. He's very quiet and efficient as a catcher.
Yeah, and that ball up and in takes a little bit of the juice out of your swing because you have to actually shorten your arms to get the bat to the ball as it's so close to your body. But that's just like great umpires. You never mention their names either.
Right. Maxwell takes.
And that's a strike.
Evidently it's a strike.
Didn't he call that a strike?
Raised his right fist. Something happening between Quintero and Paul Nart there. Don't know if the catcher got crossed up by his lefty. Let's see how he receives the ball.
Well, he's thinking breaking ball if he gets hit by a pitch. He hits by this. So yeah. See him turn his glove down.
Yep.
He's thinking that the ball is a breaking ball. It's a fastball, and it catches him in the kneecap.
So it is strike 1.
So you think it's easy to hit? When a catcher's looking for a breaking ball and gets a fastball, he can't even catch it.
Maxwell pulls it foul. And that'll be 0-2.
I would like to see Maxie hit more balls to right center. You know, when he gets in trouble, it might be because he's hitting 140. He wants a big bang up there. But even on his takes, we showed how he dips a little bit. But he flies open big time with his hips, like he's trying to pull all of his check swings away on balls that go away from him, especially against right-handers. We'll see what he does here. They're coming in on him.
Maxwell takes it away. And the count is 1-2. Alberto Gonzalez 0 for 3 today, but playing brilliant defense at third. That's nasty. Yeah, Justin didn't think he could hit it. Then it was a called strike anyway. 2 outs.
Well, there are some pitches that you're not going to hit. This has so much bite right in the corner, real close to his body, pinches him. You see him right there, bring his arms in. We call that alligator arms when you pinch your body back, your arms back to your body. Just too good a pitch to do anything with. And you just tip your hat to the pitcher and go on and put your bat in the bat rack.
And Gonzalez looks at a fastball, 1-1. Colin Ballister for the 9th. Only other Eastern team in action tonight in our division. The Marlins are at Milwaukee. So the Nats will have some good feelings when the Braves get here tomorrow night with Tim Hudson. You sure would rather be facing him coming off some good offensive games rather than struggling and then having to deal with him. If the inning continues, Will Nieves for Drew Storen.
Steady diet of curveballs.
By the way, another day at the ballpark with no runs given up yet by the bullpen. 2-2 pitch. Nationals have still been out hit by the Astros, 9-8 in this game. But the Nats have all of their hits in just 3 innings. 3 in the second, 3 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. And 2 of those 3 innings, crooked numbers on the board. That's outside. And the runners will be moving on a 3-2 pitch. Ball upstairs gets Alberto. Nats strand only 5 runners all day and lead 7-2 into the 9th. And Bourgeois, 8-9-1 for Houston. MLB.com at bat 2010 for your smartphone. Follow the Nats real-time, play-by-play, box scores, video highlights, game day audio. It's all at your fingertips on your iPhone, your iPod Touch, your Android, your BlackBerry. Keep up with the Nationals all season long. Hard-throwing Colin Ballister for the final 3 outs here. And the Nats about to make it a 3-1 homestand. And about to turn the tables on Houston as the Astros beat the Nats 3 out of 4 back in that series late May, early June. Anderson Hernandez, the former Nat, will be the first hitter for Houston. Jeff Blum is on deck. Top of the 9th arrives. Ballister comes out smoking here. 96 on that heater. Well hit, right center. And the little guy gets one to the scoreboard. Hernandez will double. He had a pinch hit walk and scored last night. And a pinch hit walk the night before. 7 o'clock, ball game in progress for just over 2 hours and 20 minutes here at Nationals Park. 4:35 start, nice crowd on hand. And the Nats on top by 5. The Braves are in town. They'll be here tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Our airtime, 7:05 first pitch. Jeff Blum is the pinch hitter.
Bob, this is where a young guy like Ballister can use a situation like this, leadoff double, to put himself mentally in the frame of mind. It's not a 5-run lead. Think about it as a 1-run lead. Now pitch accordingly. Not by throwing slop, not by trying to miss and trick somebody. I'm just talking about try to save that run at second base by really bearing down. Don't think of a 5-run lead. Think about it as getting the job done and getting 3 outs without that run scoring.
Had him all locked up on a breaking ball. That is a swing, says Tony Randazzo. Save that tape, guys.
Glory, hallelujah.
The Nats got a check swing call in the month of September.
Glory, hallelujah. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that was way out there. But within 2 or 3 inches of the ones that we have not been getting. Oh,
that's nasty.
That is a nasty yacker. I've been impressed with Colin Ballister this time around. There seems to be a different mound presence. And he drops this thing 1 and 2 there, starts at top of the strike zone. The top of the strike zone now and breaks all the way to the ground. Perfect execution, perfect spot. Drilling that ball right over the top of the plate.
Top of the order, Jason Bourgeois. 5 for 17 in the series with 5 stolen bases.
Just a positive day all the way around, huh, Bob? Offense, defense, pitching, Detweiler, bullpen, everything positive.
By the way, it's been 360 days since Ross Detweiler won a ball game.
I didn't know where you were going with that one.
His last win, September 28th of last year. I could be one off if this is a leap year. I can't remember. 2-0 pitch. That one just outside. But some work to be done here. 2 more outs to get. Good hitters coming up. The Nationals lead by 5 thanks to the Espinoza homer back in the 7th.
At least people forget Detweiler in his last 5 starts had a 190 earned run average last year. That's why they were so pumped up this spring. He comes in with that hip injury, and fortunately, it wasn't anything to do with the shoulder, and through strengthening and surgery.
And one setback after he came back, but okay now. 3-1 pitch from Ballister. Well, you don't want to be walking people here. 2 on, 1 out.
Just missed with that ball, though. That ball is close to a strike. It's not that he's missing by a lot. I mean, when Colin used to miss, when he came up as a starter, he was missing 14, 15 inches.
Now, right now, Ray, this is 1 base runner away from being a safe situation. So the bullpen phone just rang, and Joel Peralta's throwing. If they get the bases loaded, the tying run would be in the on-deck circle.
Well, that's just not going to happen. Too good a day, Bob.
All right.
Okay. I'm just turning this karma right to positive, baby.
Keppinger, the next hitter, he's 3 for 3 with a walk. Then Hunter Pence. But Johnny and Phil have had a pleasant late afternoon here at the ballpark. Nets Extra, presented by Verizon Fios, coming up when the game is over.
You'd have made a great manager, though, Bob, because you are always recognizing what might happen, and that's what that man's doing right there.
Yeah. Well, you have to anticipate every situation.
You do, and he does, and he's 3 or 4 hitters ahead of everybody else.
And if that wasn't important, there would be no position called bench coach, because a lot of that comes from those guys.
Oh, sure. They confer all the time.
And if Ballister walks Keppinger, he'll be out of this game. John McLaren serving that job for the Nationals. He's managed in the American League. Long time with Lou Piniella. Ballister, for some reason, continues to nibble in the outside corner. This is when he needs to throw the ball down the middle and let his movement take care of the rest. He's not trusting his stuff right now. The most appropriate ending for this ball game would be a ground ball right at one of the infielders.
Throwing about 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, nothing wrong with throwing it inside corner when you got that kind of gas.
And he's missing down. It's not. I don't feel that he's not trusting his stuff. I just think he's out of rhythm a little bit because he's missing in the same area all the time. Down.
Out of play. And the count's 2-2.
And you have to figure it out sometimes in a couple of pitches. And this kid, I think he's in the overall picture for this ball club next year, making this ball club. He's always been right there on the fringe the last 2 spring trainings and seasons. Moving from the starting rotation to bullpen.
Front door breaking ball. Ground ball to an infielder. Why not turn the double play and end the game just like that? The Nationals win it 7-2. Their 3rd double play of the game. And despite being out hit 10-8, magnificent defense, a fitting end to a great day of D.